What is going on, everybody? It's the Frost, and we're here for a Monday Night Raw review for March the 22nd, 2021, the night after Fastlane, the most useless, pointless pay-per-view on the calendar this year going into WrestleMania. Now, tonight we got a couple more matches set for WrestleMania. We also got some matches set for what night they're going to happen at WrestleMania, so something that WWE should have did back when they, put tickets on sale. They should have been like, well, tickets are on sale. This match is going to happen here. This match is going to happen here. Because, yes, COVID's going on and all that stuff. Not everybody's going to have the ability to go out and pay for 2 tickets for one for each night. Some are going to be able to get one night, and maybe they want to see Drew McIntyre wrestle. And maybe he's on Sunday, and they buy a Saturday ticket before they find out, oh, he's on Sunday, so they just got screwed out of seeing Drew McIntyre wrestle for the WWE Championship live because WWE decided to put tickets on sale before they started putting matches on what day. We'll talk about that later because we do have 5 at least. I think 6, with what happened at the end of the show. We'll talk about after that. So we have Sheamus versus Bobby Lashley starting off the show. We did not have... Did we? No, we didn't have a Target segment at the start, did we? No, we did not. This is the first time, and I like that WWE finally did something like this. We, for the first time in what seems like forever, did not have a talking segment to start the show. That's never happens. It never fucking happens like that. It's always one guy comes out, or a group comes out, they talk for a bit, or like SmackDown where Roman comes out, talks for a bit, someone else comes out, interrupts him, and we end up getting a match later in the show. Didn't get that here. Now, as we know, Sheamus went through a brutal war with Drew McIntyre last night, which again to me should have been a number 1 contenders match. But it wasn't, and Drew McIntyre got rid of Sheamus and is on his way to WrestleMania to take on Bobby Lashley. Now, the story of this match is that WWE seems to be pulling the brakes on the Hurt Business. Because the match starts out, it's just Bobby Lashley and MVP. They're out there by themselves. And then we go to commercial break. We come back. Cedric and Shelton are now out there. Cedric's on the opposite side of the ring. And they both try to get involved to help Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley wants none of it. Because he's WWE Champion now. He doesn't want to look like a weak champion. He wants people to see that he can beat a guy like Sheamus or even Drew McIntyre by himself. Like Cedric gets up on the apron, and Bobby Lashley goes over to him and is like, "No, dude, not tonight. No, none of this." Of course, Sheamus takes advantage and gets a 2 count. Now the match comes to an end where Sheamus looks like he has the win, going for the bro kick. Cedric jumps into the ring for a second. He slides into the ring, slides out. Lashley takes advantage. Big spine buster by Bobby Lashley. Puts the Hurt Lock on. He gets the submission win. He celebrates in the ring. We go to replays. MVP joins Lashley in the ring. Shelton and Cedric pull Sheamus out, and they start beating on him. You could see that Bobby Lashley is not a happy camper in the ring. Neither him or MVP are happy in the ring. So out comes Drew McIntyre to save his former best friend. So he destroys both Cedric and Shelton, and then goes into the ring, has words with Bobby Lashley. Of course, Bobby Lashley wants to get some Drew McIntyre tonight. He's like, why wait till WrestleMania? I'll just beat your ass right now. And they're just saying stuff back and forth. And of course, Drew's like, puts his hands behind his back. He's like, I dare you. I dare you to hit me first. Take the first swing. I dare you. Of course, MVP's in the middle. Is like, dude, it's business, Bobby. Business. Save it for WrestleMania. Save it for WrestleMania. So eventually he does get out of the ring. And that was that. So we find out tonight that Rnady Orton will summon the Fiend later on. Back to commercial break. Back from break, and Cedric and Shelton seem to be all happy what they did. They're just so happy they helped their boy. MVP and Bobby Lashley. And Lashley is not happy. He's like, what the hell was that? This wasn't a match against Sheamus versus the Hurt Business. This is Sheamus versus me one-on-one. And now I didn't ask for your help, and I didn't need your help. So he's not happy. MVP tells them, you didn't just, you see what you did? You embarrassed this guy, just like you embarrassed yourselves when you dropped the tag team titles to the New Day. And if you embarrass yourselves, you embarrass the champ. Now, you need to sit here and think about it, and how are you going to make things right as MVP and Lashley walk off. So, from how everything goes tonight, it just feels like the Hurt Business is going to be done after Mania. If everything goes the way everyone predicts it to go, which WWE loves to screw with people and pull that swerve, because seriously, we all figure WWE wanted to have Drew McIntyre have that big coronation last year in front of a packed Raymond James Stadium, but the scamdemic hit, and they had to do it in the Performance Center. So Drew McIntyre won the WWE Championship in the Performance Center, and now 1 year later, he's going to be in front of 25,000 fans a night on the night that he's going to be at least in WWE. Is going to have him win and get that big, huge, heroic hurrah. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. So, we get Peyton Royce versus Asuka. Now, a couple weeks ago on Raw Talk, Peyton Royce got some mic time, saying her talent has been being held back. She wants Asuka. She wants a chance to show what she can do. First off, anybody who wants to be given a chance should be given a chance over the same person over and over and over again. So tired of seeing Charlotte. So tired of seeing the same women get opportunities. So, I am not mad at that end. If they're going to give somebody an opportunity, give them an opportunity. If they sink or swim, that's yet to be determined. Now, this match was all fucking Asuka. Peyton Royce, there were so many times you could just see that Peyton Royce has a long way to go. The biggest offense that I think is that she was hanging on the ropes. Asuka went to go do a hip attack. She moved out of the way. So, Peyton Royce does the lightest, softest spinning back kick to Asuka's back. And Asuka sold it as if she got hit so hard that it so fucking hard. It's like, wow. Somebody needs a lot more time. Now, yes, no house shows right now does hurt people like a Peyton Royce who needs all the time in the world to get better. Asuka did everything she could to make Peyton Royce look as good as possible, but you could still see times where Peyton Royce just did not look like she should have been in the ring. She couldn't hold a candle to Asuka. So I give Asuka hats off for even putting up with this and having to have this long match with Peyton Royce. Asuka gets in the Asuka lock. Nothing you can do about it. Tap out win. After the match, here comes the real main event for the women's division. Rhea Ripley makes her official debut. Asuka looks on as she takes her time getting to the ring. She hits the apron, does her pose. Ripley takes the mic and says, Asuka is one of the greatest women's champions in WWE history. And you proved your point. She says, a few weeks ago, Charlotte was out here challenging you for a championship match when you were sitting at home recovering from your teeth being kicked in. Well, now, Charlotte's not here. And she's recovering from COVID. One of the few times WWE actually mentioned COVID on their TV, which is very, very shocking. So she's like, Asuka, I need an answer. Where I want you at WrestleMania 1-on-1. Asuka says some stuff in Japanese. I'm still not on the I still don't know what she's saying. Then says, you are not ready for her, but she accepts, and that is that. So Asuka will be taking on Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's Championship. But with the fact that Charlotte Flair will probably be recovered from COVID by then, I would not be surprised if WWE makes this a triple threat match. Even though it doesn't fucking need her. Just like in WrestleMania 2 years ago, Charlotte Flair brought down that fucking match between Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey. This match doesn't fucking need her. Keep her away. She can win the Women's Battle Royal if you do the Women's Battle Royal. You know what? That's something she hasn't done yet. They want to give her every accolade they can in WWE. Have her win the Women's Battle Royal and conveniently make it a number one contendership match so she can win that and go against the champion after WrestleMania. Now, Adam Pearce runs into Drew McIntyre, gives him props for the no-hold-barred match with Sheamus. He goes on about and mentions how Cedric and Shelton have challenged him to a handicap match. And he's like, before I squash that match, I just wanted to let you know about it. Of course, Drew has some fun with it and says, you know what, that would be a terrible thing, you know, a couple of weeks before WrestleMania, and you want me to have these guys? Well, here's an idea. Let's spin this a little bit. If I beat these two tonight, they're banned from ringside at WrestleMania. Pearce shakes his hand and says, consider it done. And then we see the crew setting up Miz TV. Don't really care. We got the fucking greatest stage of us all from 19 days from now. We see what happened between Asuka and Rhea Ripley. The match for the women's title is confirmed for WrestleMania 37. We get an in-ring for another Miz TV edition of WrestleMania. Don't give a shit. Bunch of stupid shit. Him embarrassing himself. Him and Morrison are gonna debut Hey Hip Hop or whatever the fuck it was called next week. They show us a preview, them wearing bunny suits. They look like fucking jackasses. They're jackass clowns. You know that scene in the Dark Knight when the big heavyset, the big burly black dude smashes his hands and says enough from the clown? I wish you could play that on loop every fucking time these motherfuckers talk, because they are clowns. Nothing but clowns. Challenges him to a match at WrestleMania. Says he won't just end his Bad Bunny's music career. He'll end his career, even though that is his career. I'm pretty sure if you end his career as a music career, you'll end his career. That's so dumb. And says that he tells everyone to watch his next match with Jeff Hardy to get a preview at WrestleMania. So it looks like we're going down the singles match route. This is a terrible idea. I don't give a shit how long Bad Bunny has been wrestling. If this does not turn into a tag team match with him and Damian Priest, which, by the way, Damian Priest's first WrestleMania is going to end up being as a manager to Bad Bunny. Holy shit. Wow. Just wow. You know what's fucking sad? With the hey whatever they're doing, Miz was WWE champion 2 weeks ago, and now they're showing him jumping around with John Morrison in bunny suits. Wow, they don't fall fast. They don't fall faster than the Miz. I tell you what. Whew. Holy shit, that was terrible. Just so fucking terrible. So, we go to Jeff Hardy vs. The Miz, and Jeff gets the mic immediately and says, you know what? We know how this goes. You get in trouble and this guy bails you out. So if you were a real man, you would send him to the back. Miz thinks about it and ends up sending him to the back. You have this match. Jeff Hardy needs to leave WWE as he takes the pinfall from The Miz on the Skull Crusher finale. I really don't care. Jeff Hardy had to take a pin to build up a match against Bad Bunny for The Miz. Holy shit. This is just getting sad. Oh, so sad. So fucking sad. So, after the match, Miz stands tall, and then all of a sudden, Bad Bunny hits him in the back with a guitar, heads out of the ring, gets a mic and says, I accept your challenge, bitch. I'll see you at WrestleMania. Talk about a match I'm not looking forward to and I don't want to give a fuck about. So, Damian Priest is going to get shafted and be a manager for his first WrestleMania. Wow. Couldn't even get into a fucking match. Unless they change this into a tag team match. Which, we still have 2 shows to go before WrestleMania. They could turn into a tag team match any time between now and then. Will they? I don't know. But man, it sucks to be Damian Priest. You make your Monday Night Raw debut after the Royal Rumble. Get all this wins, all this momentum. You're hanging out with Bad Bunny and you're being prominently used in WWE. And your first WrestleMania is going to be manager to be on the outside for a match, from Bad Bunny's match. That's terrible. Let's see here. Man, AJ Styles comes to the ring with Omos. He's going to take on Kofi Kingston. And they do a bunch of comedy. I'm sorry. They do a bunch of ha-ha comedy bullshit with the New Day I could care less about. But then we go to the match. Back for break, and we get a paid advertisement of the NWO sponsored by CarMax, and they plug Eric Bischoff's 2021 Hall of Fame induction. Congratulations to Eazy-E. Much deserved for what he did in WCW. But I'm going to be that guy. I said it on Minds, and I'll say it again. The NWO was good for about 6 months. Then it became a bloated, overrated mess of a faction. There, I said it. You got a problem with it? I don't give a shit. Tell me in the comment section below how much you fucking hate it. But yes, the NWO was good for about 6 months and then became a bloated, overrated mess of a faction. So we had ourselves a really good match here. Just two guys, two former WWE champions, and you wouldn't have said that 3 years ago. But yeah, I still can't believe AJ Styles has been in WWE for 5 years. That time has gone by so fast. But anyway, so AJ works on the knee of Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston does everything he can to try and avoid the calf crusher. Now, he gets the calf crusher on for a bit. He focuses on the knee. Almost looks like he wants to, likes what he sees. AJ goes to the apron and waits for Kofi to get up. He goes for the springboard, phenomenal form, but Woods plays a little tune on Francesca. Almost starts walking over towards Woods. Slowly, because he's a big dude and there's no way he's going to be running. AJ springs in, phenomenal form, but Kofi catches him into the SOS for the 1, 2, 3, and Kofi Kingston beats AJ Styles. They were honestly booked themselves into a corner there. There was legitimately nothing else they could do. I just couldn't tell you. After the Sheamus is stopped backstage by Kevin Patrick, who apparently is Irish now, asks why he accepted a challenge by Bobby Lashley in last night's brutal no-holds-barred match. He says, because he doesn't stray away from the fight. He loves the fight. And he starts rambling on, but in comes Matt Riddle, who starts like, hey, I have a question for you. Asks about, have you seen the Loch Ness Monster, Dream Magnet? And I just zoned out. I love Matt Riddle as a professional wrestler. I cannot stand this ha-ha comedy bullshit. Thank you, MJF, for that one. This ha-ha comedy bullshit they have him do. Sheamus talks about, is those things easy to ride? He picks up the scooter, hits Matt Riddle with it. And it looks like Sheamus will be challenging Matt Riddle for the United States title at Wrestlemania. Hasn't been confirmed yet, but we still got 2 weeks to go. Okay, I'm fine with that match. Gives him something good to do. So, Sheamus versus them. Yeah, I can definitely see that one. Handicap match: Drew McIntyre versus Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. Back from break, and the announcers record videos views on the YouTube channel, which I guarantee you they add up, down, video views into there. I don't buy those are legit. WWE does love to fudge the numbers big time. Shelton Benjamin and Cedric come out. The Hurt Business, the bell rings, and Shelton tosses his shirt at Drew to upset him. Goes to work and unloads on him, and basically it was 2 guys. It was not a 2-on-1 handicap match where both men are in the ring. It was a tag handicap match. So Drew McIntyre didn't have to deal with 2-on-1 for the most part. But yeah, not much to this match here. It's typical 2-on-1 handicap match with a tag team, an established tag team, who just last week were the Raw Tag Team Champions. Get outsmarted and outbeat by one man. I don't care if it's Drew McIntyre, John Cena, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Not one man should be taking down a set of former tag team champions. But I will say, Cedric Alexander sold that fucking Claymore kick like a champ. Holy shit, he looked like he died. Drew McIntyre literally kicked his head all the way back to gorilla position, because he was aiming that he was kicking it that way. He just kicked him and he flipped 360 180 degrees, flat on his stomach, just looked like he was dead. So Cedric and Shelton Benjamin are banned from ringside at WrestleMania. But man, has the Hurt Business been ruffled and hurt this week. Oh my God. After the match, they're all upset and everything. Of course, Bobby Lash, Randy Orton's going to summon the Fiend later on, but we see backstage MVP is talking to Shelton and Cedric about how they tried to help Bobby when he didn't need it. But then you think about the way to rectify this is going out there and challenging Drew McIntyre, and you couldn't even get that done in a 2-on-1 capacity. Bobby Lashley runs up in this nice fucking, looked like a silk suit or something, or a felt suit, and was like, you guys couldn't get the job done, so I'm going to go try and find someone who can. So he walks into the bin of jobbers, looks at them, Lucha House Party, Guerrero Zao, Drew Gulak, Ricochet, and Humberto Carrillo, and is like, if any of you guys can take Drew McIntyre out, I will give you a shot at I will give you a shot for this. Just take him out before Mania. First off, it sucks that you see Ricochet in the pile of rejects and losers. But that's how they've been treating him. But, yep, this is put a bounty on his head. He'll overcome all obstacles, and Drew McIntyre will be at WrestleMania. Then we go to Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Do you care? No, I do. No, you do not. I don't either. Shayna and Nia Jax win. Not much that you can talk about. But on commentary was Lana and Naomi. And when the match is over, they're asking for their rematch. For what? You want the former tag team champions. They didn't beat you for the tag team titles. Why do you think you deserve a rematch? Did you not lose that title match clean as a whistle? I think you did. I'm pretty sure Naomi and Lana lost the women's tag team title match they had a couple weeks ago clean. Why the fuck do they deserve a women's tag team title match? Why does any women's tag team deserve a women's tag team title? Why the fuck do these tag team titles even fucking exist? They're worthless. They're a joke. And I wouldn't give a shit about them. Alexa Bliss is backstage swinging on her swing. She knows Randy Orton wanted to get her out of her life, but she's still here, and so is he. And says, you can't always get what you want, but tonight she says you should be careful what you wish for. Laughs some more, looks at her face. It looks like has her face go serious. We get the let me in with the voice of the Fiend, and that was that. The sooner this is over, the better. I liked the Bliss Fiend dynamic on SmackDown. Go figure, it was better on SmackDown. Because it was not overly done and fucking stupid. Then they bring it to Monday Night Raw. Don't know what the fuck to do with it. And then we get Randy Orton versus the Fiend. Multiple fucking times. Burn the Fiend. And then Alexa Bliss becomes this. And it just hasn't been good. Shane McMahon is in the ring with Elias and Jackson Ryker because the final match of the night is going to be Elias versus Braun Strowman. Again, because last night's match was so great. And it was so great, we needed to run it back again. Said no one ever. Just... Of course, Shane McMahon is feigning an injury, as we'll find out later. He didn't want to face the Fiend. WWE is like, well, I mean, we don't want Strowman versus Shane McMahon at Fastlane, because to them, that's a big money match. Only to Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman is a big money match. So they do the comedy bullshit. Out comes Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman takes on Elias. There was a moment when, Braun Strowman does his run around the ring where they actually played train sounds, like a train was actually going. Holy shit, I did not want to turn my TV off, or my phone off faster than that. Oh my god, that was terrible. He wins, nobody cares. After the match, Strowman stands tall. Shane enters the ring, smacks him with the back of the crutch, does absolutely nothing. Strowman chases him away. We see Shane was able to run and fine with no fucking injury. Takes the mic and says it looks like Shane's knee is fine now as he ran away with his tail tucked between his legs. Braun had enough of Shane's games. He will end this. He promises Shane He asks if Shane is man enough to face him one-on-one at WrestleMania. Shane says he accepts and says Braun Strowman can pick the stipulation. Most likely going to be a Falls Count Anywhere or No Holds Barred or something stupid like that, because Shane has to go to WrestleMania to try and die. That is his mission. So, we get the announcement of Night 1 and Night 2 matches. On Night 1, Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre will face off for the WWE Championship. Bianca Belair will challenge Sasha Banks for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and Bad Bunny will take on The Miz. And Night 2, Roman Reigns versus Edge in the main event of that night, and Rhea Ripley challenges Asuka for her title. Now, so at that time, that's all we knew. That's all we know for WrestleMania. There's still 2 other matches: Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon in the New Day versus the other 2 who don't have a spot yet on their night. So out comes Rnady Orton, who has a mic. He says, it seems like yesterday he watched The Fiend Bray Wyatt burned alive at TLC, but apparently he didn't get the job done because he smelled the same burnt flesh at Fastlane last night. He doesn't know what we saw at Fastlane, but he saw an abomination. So tonight he will finish the job. After tonight there will be no more mind games, no more Alexa Bliss, no more Fiend. The bullshit comes to an end tonight. And I'm sure a lot of people who've been hating this angle thought, yes, Randy, yes, end this bullshit because we're tired of it. Obviously, that's not going to happen. It's going to happen at WrestleMania, which I don't know what they're going to do, but we'll see. Out comes Alexa Bliss with her jack-in-the-box with a pentagram on it, pentacle, whichever one you want to call it. Says she warned Randy to be careful what he wished for. Winds it up. It pops open. It's a creepy-looking figure that looks like the Fiend. Lights come down, lights go down, lights come back up with a big ring explosion a la Kane style, and there the Fiend is in the middle of the ring, on the other side of the ring. Orton then turns around, sees it, grabs his bag that he brought with him, which happens to have a big gas can in it. So he grabs the gas can, opens it, throws it all over the Fiend. Goes to get the match. Looks like something. We're going to see something. RKO. Alexa Bliss comes into the ring. Stops with one leg still out of the, on the rope. As she distracts Rnady Orton. The Fiend gets back up. Puts him in the mandible claw. Hits Sister Abigail. Bliss starts prancing around, dancing around. She's so happy what happened. Comes over, gets that serious look, and then points to the WrestleMania sign. As fire starts shooting up from around the WrestleMania sign, and then it was confirmed. And I believe Samoa Joe said this will be on Sunday, so that'd be 3 matches for each night. The Fiend versus Rnady Orton is happening at WrestleMania. 4 years after the last meeting at WrestleMania, and we all know how bad that was. So, we'll have to wait and see what happens, but that is your WrestleMania right now. It's not getting any better, I will have to say. It's just not getting any better in my opinion. Now, Rhea Ripley versus Asuka, I am definitely looking forward to that one. I have no desire to see Lana and Naomi get another title shot for the women's titles because they haven't done anything to deserve it. And again, the tag team titles need to go away. I don't give a shit about Shane versus Shane versus Braun Strowman. I have zero desire to see. Anybody says they want to see that match, you are fucking lying to yourself. That is a match nobody wants to see. Fiend versus Rnady Orton, I doubt this is going to be just a regular one-on-one match. That would be fucking stupid. I don't give a shit about Bad Bunny versus The Miz. It sucks that that's not going to be made a tag team match. That it sucks for Damian Priest coming up here to get absolutely nothing at WrestleMania but a manager position. That's going to fucking suck. But it is what it is. We'll see what happens next week. We'll see what happens on Friday for continuation. Maybe they'll tell us what the other matches are going to be at WrestleMania. So far, we're up to 8. which on a normal year, that would be a good bit of WrestleMania, but of course, we'd have 14, 15, 16 matches if it was a normal WrestleMania and everyone was able to attend. But that is just a Raw review. It was an okay, downright terrible show, as usual. But that is your Monday Night Raw review. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Minds at the France Club. Find me on twitch.tv/the France Club. And find me on Instagram at the France Club. And I will see you guys on Wednesday for another jam-packed episode of AEW on TNT. Until then, my name is the France, and I'll see you guys later. Peace!